the Bills, 13-4 last year. Number 2 seed. We know the story. With the Ravens, it's how are they going to lose it in the playoffs? With the Bills, it's how are they going to lose, and how are they going to lose to the Chiefs? Like, are they ever going to beat the Chiefs? It's just not a matter of if, it's been a matter of when. But last regular season was phenomenal. Josh Allen ends up getting the MVP. Some argued that he should have gotten the year before. They go perfect at home. It was a terrific regular season. They pummel the Broncos 31-7 in the wild card round. They take care of the Ravens in the divisional round. It was just them not making mistakes. It was one penalty. Josh Allen didn't have a very productive day, but they didn't turn the ball over 3 times like the Ravens did. They were +3 in that department, so they end up winning. And then they play the Chiefs. This time they lose 32-29. They are co-favorites for the Super Bowl. They are co-favorites for the AFC title. They are large favorites for the division, which we've talked a lot this week, I'd say many weeks, about pairing the Bills to win the AFC East with another team. They have the highest win total in the NFL. They are the only team that is sitting at 12.5. And Sam, you declared on Monday morning that you have Bills fever.
I do. I bet them to win the Super Bowl. First time in my life. What could go wrong? A franchise that's never won a Super Bowl. That's the team getting my money. Oh boy. I look at what they did defensively, and you had to make a couple of changes. You had to beef up that side of the ball, and they did it. They did it accordingly. They are attacking off seasons now like teams that are serious about winning a Super Bowl. To bring in Joey Bosa to play on the D-line is a huge deal for me. Huge deal. And he'll be reinvigorated here in Buffalo. Trey White, according to WGR in Buffalo, Trey White could be available for the opener. Now, that was an injury that happened a week or two ago, and there hasn't been a lot of reporting on it because the NFL doesn't have to report injuries. Like, you don't have to do that yet. But he has not been at practice, and there was a scare because Trey White has had some issues, some season-ending issues over the years. But according to this story from WGR, Bills GM Brandon Beane is not ruling White out for the season opener. So that's good. There were some concerns that he would be missing a lot of time. And if he doesn't play week 1, I don't care. Like, as long as he's on the field when the games matter. They also just brought back Jordan Poyer. So that's another boon to the secondary, because if they have to someone, that's a problem. Damar Hamlin stinks. I've said that for years, but we feel bad for Damar Hamlin, so we treat him with kid gloves. He's not a starting safety in the NFL, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the case anymore because Poyer is now on the practice squad, and I think they're trying to elevate him forward. But most importantly, Joe, the offense is back. An elite offense last year, top 3 in several advanced analytics and metrics. And okay, they lost Amari Cooper. So what? Amari Cooper was, I don't want to say washed.
He was a bust. Complete bust. I was dead wrong. I thought that was going to be a big ad. I liked the move at the time. He did nothing for that team. Nothing.
Yeah. So you're relying on elevated play, I should say, from Keon Coleman, who they really like at receiver. Shakir's great. Shakir's their best receiver. And then they brought in Joshua Palmer to sort of be that deep threat for them. He played with the Chargers, and now he's a Bill. Elijah Moore could be interesting in the slot, but the entire offensive line mostly returns. Josh Allen, I think, is the most valuable player in football to the point spread. And then James Cook. James Cook's here. So offensively, for a team that did basically whatever it wanted last regular season, is back. And you make those additions on defense. I love Joe Brady. I love Babich on D. Their coordinators are good, and I'm a believer in Sean McDermott. So this team has done everything right. They have addressed basically every weakness that they had from last season. And if they can finally get through Kansas City, they're 0-4. Josh Allen's 0-4 against Kansas City. 3 of those losses are by 1 score in the playoffs. They're so close they can taste it. And I think this is the year they break through.
I love what they did with that line, too. They added depth pieces. All right, let's 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round. Let's just keep adding defensive linemen. We need to get deeper there. And you talked about some of the moves that they make. including Joey Bosa there. That's the big one. Von Miller also pretty much a nothing. Like there were certain games he would pop, but he was a disappointment based on the amount of money that they ended up giving him. So yeah, McDermott probably got his way in this. Like, okay, guys, we're good offensively. Look at what we have with Josh Allen. And we re-sign James Cook, so there's no noise there. That thing's wrapped up. Everything goes through Shakur in the passing game, too. You got a couple of good tight ends. What's the weakness? We'll have to ask Shope. Like, what is he concerned about? I'm not do you have something that really stands out to you? Aside from beating the Chiefs in the playoffs, what is the Bills' weakness?
I don't know if it's a weakness, but I don't know that wide receiver is a strength. I think it could be potentially, but right now, I mean, they don't have a Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. Does that make it a weakness, though? I don't know, because I think they're happy with what they have. Of course, you'd love to have a legit first-round fantasy receiver, but you just don't. They have, though, what they believe is the best quarterback in the league. And Shope and the Bulldog talk about this all the time. The last 5 off seasons, Josh Allen has picked something to hone in on and develop. And they've added something to his game every single off season. He's improved every single off season. So I think the belief there is that the quarterback will elevate everybody around him. They're not going to hit you, though, with, guys that have 200-yard receiving games. That's not going to happen. But if they can spread the ball and balance the attack, if they can run it, then they're going to be able to pass it, and then you don't know what to stop. All right, do we stop the pass? Do we stop the run? Oh, here's our 6'7" quarterback now on a quarterback draw. If it's clicking, if the offense is working, I don't want to use the term unguardable because that's ridiculous. But it's as versatile an offense in the league. It's as versatile as anybody when it's on. And they believe in the play calling. They believe in the schematics. They believe in the quarterback.
What made you decide this is different? It's happening. They're finally going to take down the Chiefs or the Ravens or both, and they're going to be in the Super Bowl. That's why I want to bet this right now. What was the deciding factor?
They didn't sit pat. A lot of teams, I think, in this position would just say, no, we're good enough. We're going to run this back. We don't need anything else. We have everything we need in this room. They didn't admit that they needed help, but they went out and they got Joey Bosa, and they went out and they got Trey White and brought him back to town, and they're bringing in a guy like Poyer. I think your point about the draft is solid, too. I mean, you look at what they did on that defensive side of the ball, not only the depth up front, but the depth at corner, the depth at safety. Now, they do have their number 1 pick, Hairston, is on the shelf. That's the kid they took in the first round from Kentucky. So, that's not ideal. You'd love to have your number 1 pick on the field right away. They were going to put him on the opposite side of Benford and roll those two out there. That's not going to happen, at least early in the season. But I think the way that they attack their defensive free agency moves and their defensive draft is what kind of got me there. There's a lot of depth on a team that maybe didn't have the defensive depth last year. It's so funny, though, because if you listen to WGR, they're like, oh, we're weak at safety. We need safeties. And I'm looking at their 53-man roster saying this is one of the best in the league. Again, I said earlier, Baltimore 1A, Buffalo 1B. This roster is loaded. And you have Josh Allen at quarterback. That's how I got there.